It's a great day to be a Hitman fan. What's going on, guys? Welcome to your classic Watch Along Sunday. Tonight's episode, Survivor Series 1995. We're going to be busting out Survivor Series all through the month of November. I think we were a little light on the Survivor Series last year, so I think we only maybe did 2 of them. So we're going to get a bunch done this year. Last year we did Survivor Series 1998, and tonight I have decided on 1995. We've been teasing this one and talking about it for a long time. I almost changed my mind and did something different tonight instead, but decided to no, let's do 1995, and we are going to do Survivor Series 2001 next week. That's the plan. I put up a Twitter poll for you members only when I was having trouble the other night making a thumbnail and just deciding which one of these Survivor Series to do. I was either going to be 92, 94, 95, or 2001. Let you guys pick. You guys picked 2001, but I already kind of promised 1995, so I split the difference. Figured we'd do 1995 tonight, and since 2001 technically won the poll, and it's one we wanted to do for a while since I was at that show, we're going to do that one week from tonight, next Sunday. So keep a lookout for Survivor Series 2001 1 week from tonight. And then after that, we'll try to backtrack and knock out a 92 or a 93 or a 94. But I got to check out my November schedule and see how Thanksgiving weekend's looking. I'm not really sure if I'll even be available for this. But we are going to do as many of these as we can. And tonight's a good one. Survivor Series 1995. 18-year-old Greg watched this thing live, watched my hero Bret Hart win the championship from Diesel. Pretty fucking awesome main event, and just an interesting show for an interesting time in the company. I've never even been able to find like a good clean download of the theme music that they used for this year's Survivor Series. It was just used once, only for this night in Washington, D.C., when they had kind of the D.C. Capitol vibe going on the show. They had the Bill Clinton lookalike in the audience and all that. But the theme song that they composed, I don't know if Jim Johnson did this or where they got it from. It's fantastic. And I've never been able to find a copy of it. I don't even know if one exists. So that was memorable about this show. A lot of interesting matches on here. We had the big wild card match with baby faces and heels teaming up against each other. Of course, Bret and Diesel in the main event. Mr. Perfect returned to the company after a couple of years off, or maybe a year or so off, and joined the commentary team, which was awesome. He would bounce 1 year later. 1 year later at Survivor Series 96, he would have left like the night before in the middle of the night to go to WCW. So Perfect was back, but only for a year. Public Enemy, I believe, worked a dark match on this show as well. And all sorts of cool shit going on this one. So it's going to be fun to take a look back at this again from the year that I graduated high school. 1995, I was freshly out of high school, just started living out on my own and in an apartment and, starting to become an adult right around the time of this show. And I got a lot of memories of it. So we're going to be taking a look at that tonight. Hope you guys are having a good one. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Hope you are enjoying your Sunday. Big week of football. Holy shit, my Lions won a game today. They beat the Bears by 1 point. The Cowboys just lost late in overtime to the fucking Packers. I was eyeballing that score all day, loving that Rodgers is just getting worked over something good this year, but then the motherfucker pulls out an upset in the end. I think Vikings and Bills had a close one as well. And the Sunday night game tonight, if you live in my state, the Golden State, is kind of a big one with San Francisco taking on L.A. So football was big today for those of you who are football watchers. We're going to be eyeballing the score of the LA San Fran game while we watch Survivor Series 95. And I'm going to do some quick shout outs. I know there's some super chats I need to answer. And then we are going to be hitting play together. While I do these pleasantries, go to your Peacock. You guys know what to do. Go under WWE, find Survivor Series. You're going to be looking for Season 9, Episode 1. Runtime, according to Peacock, is 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 40 seconds. So you guys know the drill. Once we hit play together, the timer above my head will start to run, and we just all follow along with that. Over the weekend, during the podcast and then the video on Friday, I believe, we did have a couple of interruptions during the stream. So if that happens again, I have now figured out a way to rectify that. I can adjust the timer. If we all have to pause or we all have to backtrack, we can get synced up if we do experience any disruptions today for any reason. But the key is to always just sync up your Peacock to the timer above my head. And as long as we do that, we can all watch together. So that's the plan there. I want to say hello to Tata Nani and Zach Pelgett and Zane G, first channel members arriving this evening. Sam 3 is in the house. We have a lot of comments from Zane and Tata Nani. Anything interesting in there? A lot of football, big game tonight. At least I at least snipped a vintage Shawn Michaels shirt on eBay. Good. You guys are having a great day. Great Sunday for most of you. Good to see Ray Frand up in the house. We've got Jay Lambo, Enigma. We Are Pro Wrestling is here. One of the best Survivor Series in history. I agree, because it really did have a different vibe to it. And hell, man, maybe you know where I can find a nice download of this theme song, because I've never been able to find a clean version of it. And I think it kind of slaps. Is that what the kids say today? Slaps, right? Yeah. We've got Jeff McMahon in the house. Right on. Good to see you. Big J is here as well. We have Showtime Gamer Savage. Hello. Welcome. George Morris chiming in with his token $5. Thanks, dude. Hey, Greg, how are you doing? Survivor Series 1995, 10 out of 10. I ain't going to disagree with that. Which Bret Hart versus Diesel match do you think was the best? This one, or King of the Ring 94, or Royal Rumble 95, or Cage? I personally liked this one. This one resembled a little bit of the Royal Rumble 95 match when Bret was, a quote-unquote changed man, and he kind of was healing a little bit on Diesel in that match, using chairs, taking liberties, things like that, and he really turned that up here in the Survivor Series match, really being vicious and showing sides of Bret that we really hadn't seen prior to 1995. So I'm going to go with this one as the best one because Bret won the title. It was kind of one-sided. It was very Diesel heavy. He was working over Bret pretty good due to the size difference, but in the end, Bret plays possum, wins the title. So great, such a great moment, and I fucking loved it. But their other matches were good. King of the Ring 94 was very good. Of course, that ended in a DQ. Royal Rumble was also very good, but that was a schmoz. And then the Cage was, just Bret retaining on his way to WrestleMania. So those other matches, since we didn't have clean finishes in the first two, and the Cage was more about getting Bret to WrestleMania and get Diesel in his program with Undertaker, I think this one here, Survivor Series 95, by far was the best of all of the Bret Hart and Diesel matches, even though they were all pretty good. Bret worked well with Kevin Nash. He really did. He did. Member for 4 months, Kevin K-Dog's Kennel. Good to see you, my kayfabe brother. Much love and respect, my friend. Wife's knee getting stronger every day. My support for you is like the NWO for life. Thank you for all you do, brother. Really happy to hear that your wife is on the recovery trail. She did go under the knife a couple of weeks ago for that surgery, and I'm glad that everything is going well, Kevin. Thanks for being here as always. This should be a fun one. Financial Truth Academy in the house. Good to see you as well. And We Are Pro Wrestling chiming in with the nice $10. Thank you so much, dude. Go check out We Are Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel, if I can fucking talk tonight on Sunday. He does great stuff, great commentaries, great knowledge of the business and these pay-per-views, and a lot of times he is here helping us with stats and facts that I might have forgotten whenever we're doing these watch-alongs. So he's very thorough, knows his stuff. Go check out We Are Pro Wrestling. He's got good shit over there. But thank you for that, my friend. What's up, Greg? Currently new on the channel is the first two parts of my Bret retrospective. I might take a look at that myself. The Hart Foundation and April 9th, April 91 through March 94. Those are peak Bret years, son. Oh my God, that's the meat of Bret. That's the meat of Bret right there. Coming this week will be all about April 94 through November 97. Another really interesting time. That's going to be the second half of Bret's, kind of singles run there and main event status in the company. And I think it started a lot better than it ended, but every single year Bret was in the company was super interesting, and he did interesting shit. So that's awesome. Check out We Are Pro Wrestling. Go give him a subscription. Show him some love. Ruben Litton in the house. Good to see you. The Juliet, Wilbert Reed. We have Ben Espinoza is here as always. Mikey Too Cool. Good to see you. Channel member as well. Aaron Gothier is here. We have Divine Ricks, channel member in the house. Yachiro, my friend. Good to see you, and welcome back as always. Wilbert Reed, thank you so much for that $5. What's up, Greg? Great to be back in the chat. Hope all is well. Pray for me. I suffered 2 major deaths in 2 weeks. Yikes, that's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't know if it was family or friends or both, but losing a loved one is never fun, and that sucks, and we all go through it. And we're glad you're here tonight, Wilbert. We will do our best to cheer you up because this is a really fun pay-per-view to go back and watch, I think. And that should round out the shout-outs there. And all right, I think we're ready to go. Start turning on some Survivor Series 1995. Hopefully, during all of that rambling, you have gone over to your Peacock and got this show pulled up. Make sure you watch any ads you need to watch. Elizabeth gives me shit the other day. She's like, I laugh every time you do your watch-alongs. You always like brag about your that you don't watch any ads or you have the premium service. I'm like, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, if people need to hit the play button and they're not doing that until we all do that together, then when we all hit play and start watching it, they might have to sit through an ad and that will suck. So I usually tell people to pre-warn them, go to Peacock, and if there is any of that bullshit you need to watch, just get it out of the way so you're ready to go. That's all it is. So I promise you, I'm not bragging, and I love you, honey. Anyway, we will get ready to hit play here. We do a countdown of 3 as always, and the timer above my head will start to run once we do that. So I did suffer a small botch a couple weeks ago. I did not click this perfectly, and I had like a 2-second difference. So I just want to make sure I am all good to go. All right, my finger is on the trigger on that one and over here. Are you guys ready? Ready to rock? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Yes. Success. My favorite part of the show. Mr. Perfect. Open the show. I'm going to turn my volume up. There we go. Turn the volume up on my speakers a little bit. Now, this blew my mind right here because this was not reported. At least I didn't hear about it on the hotlines or whatever I was doing at the time to listen to wrestling news or to get wrestling news. I was completely unaware that Perfect was on his way back to the company. So when he just randomly comes out here to start the show, I was blown away and I was thrilled to see him back. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Had no idea. And then I believe they just close right out of this and go into the intro. So that's how they kicked off Survivor Series. It was gonna be a good night. Really hoping they don't do too much music editing here on this episode. This is all legit. This is the way it all played out on TV. While we're going through this intro, we're on a like campaign on this channel, so please smash that thumbs up button. I would very much appreciate it. And cheers, by the way. Drinking a light Modelo tonight. Oh, I love this intro. Good stuff. Gorilla gave Brett that title shot. Just gave it to him. The truck stops here, Diesel. You got that belt. Belongs to us. I don't like your odds. This song right here, this is the theme. It's great. Todd Pettengill. Thanks for welcoming us, Todd. It's always good to be welcomed by you. The U.S. Air Arena. I remember that building. A little smaller. Mr. Perfect. Yeah, karate fighters, don't forget. I love the theme song. I just love it. I would do anything to find a clean download. If anybody has one, shoot me a DM over on the Twitters. The Underdogs. This is a good match. Chris Candido executes a top rope power bomb, which he was doing in ECW. But I remember seeing it here Candido doesn't do it. He gets hit with it. I think Marty does it too, Chris. Something funny just happened. I'll tell you in a minute. Barry Horowitz and Hakushi. And I'm pretty sure 1-2-3 Kid comes out here. 1-2-3 Kid turned heel the Raw before this. I think we might have had a brief interruption, but I think we're all still good. We just got to match the timer, guys. I'm sorry if that happens a couple nights tonight. That was a quick one. Body Donna in training. Louis Spicoli. Brad Radford. I mean, this is very early Sonny and Skip in WWE. They just got there. Their fourth. I forgot who the fourth partner was supposed to be. Got the 1, 2, 3 kid with him. What's up, CCDC? What's up, Queasy? Good to see you. Yeah, very, very early Monday Night Wars. WCW Nitro was only 2 months old at this point. Both of these guys would be in WCW that following year. 1, 2, 3 Kid and $1 Million Man. Yeah, so I guess it just kind of occurred to me. If I do have that weird interruption, the Survivor Series keeps playing and the timer keeps playing. So even if I cut out, just keep watching. I don't think it's going to really cause too much of a problem with the timer syncing now that I kind of think that all the way through. So yeah, we should be fine. Even if I interrupt or whatever. And like I said, if for any reason you get off-centered somehow, just pause me. Match your shit up to the timer. And you can catch up that way. But I think we're going to be fine. Yeah, my timer is still matching Survivor Series. I'm still at 6 minutes in. So that should be what you're seeing as well. But the timer should not do anything if we have an interruption. It's just going to keep running on my end. I think that was just the internet. But yeah, I'm still matched up. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If for any reason the timer's off 10 seconds or you're just off, just eyeball just use whatever your remote device you're using and pause or fast forward your Survivor Series or rewind to get your time code to match mine. That's the way to do it. It's the only advice I have. The Action Zone. Shit was heavily discussed today on the Action Zone, y'all. I probably watched it that day. Action Zone was underrated. I really liked the Action Zone. Probably because I was a fucking dork. But also, I thought it was a cool show. My favorite rendition of the Action Zone, because they changed it up a bunch, my favorite one was where Todd and Doc Hendricks were at the podiums, like in the studio. I liked that setup. They'd run through the week of TV, news, shit like that. It was good. A lot of action here. Jannetty and the soon-to-be Zip. That's Dr. Tom in there with Skip. He hasn't even done the hair deal yet. That would come, I guess, next year. Can't remember when Zip debuted. Yeah, Enigma. Next week will be fun. Survivor Series 01 watch-along. I'll get that link up right away. But I'm probably going to include myself in the thumbnail because I am right in the hard cam view of the entire show. That was wonderful, she said. Oh, yeah, we are pro wrestling. The Action Zone, the HBK Diesel match. I thought that was on Challenge. Maybe it was on Challenge and it aired on Action Zone, or maybe it was taped at a Challenge taping to be an exclusive at Action Zone. I don't remember, but I do know Action Zone would sometimes replay those matches, depending on what year that was. But in '94, maybe it was taped for Action Zone. I always thought that was a Challenge episode because that was a really good match. It was right before Survivor Series, right? Red. This is a fucking mid-card match if I've ever seen it. Look at these guys, man. Fucking Holly, Jannetty, Brad Radford. Akushi's probably the most talented guy in there. 1, 2, 3 Kid. 1, 2, 3 Kid, I believe, has 2 former tag team championship partners on the other side, right? And Bob Holly and Jannetty. Yeah, let's see what we got here. We got Rad Radford. We got like a grunge guy in there with a race car driver. Who else? Who else we got? I don't know what you would classify Hakushi as. Martial arts expert or something. That building could barely hold that karate fighter's blimp up there. Yeah, I'm just saying the same thing, Zach, about the blimp. It's in the way of everybody. Couldn't see shit. Oh, yeah, we got the health guru, the fitness guru, and Skip and Sonny. Where'd this Radford come from? Came from ECW. Here comes the 1-2-3 Kid. Since 1-2-3 Kid and Hakushi, I bet you probably had a match or two when Kid was babyface, and Hakushi was heel. Popping the blimp, chucking shit at it. Oh, maybe you don't mean real shit. Like, you're not shitting in your hand and throwing it at the blimp. You just mean cups or trash at it. Drinking extremely light tonight. I had a birthday dinner for my brother-in-law last night and drank a little too much that I'm used to drinking. I didn't drink a ton. I wasn't even drunk. I was fine to even drive home, but I had a headache, a lingering headache last night. And I'm like, I think I'm getting old. When I was a kid, man, none of that shit would faze me. I caught that story about the house show in, what was it, Peoria? Where a fan threw the drink at Scarlett. It's messed up. Oh, yeah, Heatwave 98, RVD, Sabu, and Hakushi against Hakushi and Hayabusa. Oh, big miss. Big moonsault miss. That's a lot of desire that the doctor just dropped. He's wearing checkers on his tights. That way you know he's a race car driver. Just so they make that abundantly clear. That's going to be it for the doctor. See you later, Tom. Good job, Bob Holly. Well, that's what happens in Survivor Series. You're going to have quick eliminations. Yeah, even Perfect's impressed. He's like, oh, this guy's pretty good. Oh, you are? Okay, I didn't know that, Kevin. So that's where it happened, huh? Those are your people, huh? That's okay. Nothing's where, like I said, I was born in Detroit, and that's the home of the Malice at the Palace, which made me very ashamed. Just another good reason why I don't live there anymore. Hakushi was laying back on Diesel's pyro. Look how small they are compared to Kane's on the ring post there. That was nicely done. Oh, Candido. Great shit. Barry wants in there. He has Candido's number. By the way, we do have this on VHS. I keep all my VHSs in these nifty little plastic cases for safety. And it kind of comes out. Whoop. Like one of these things. So, yeah, there we go. Brett and Diesel. Yeah. Good shit. This thing is in pristine condition. I think I can get $40 for it on eBay, but I'm never going to sell it. Come on, Hakushi. He's got 1-2-3 Kid on the ropes. Big tackle. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Vince, all those years of doing commentary, he thought every 3 count or every near fall was a 3 count. Oh, he got it. I thought he had him. Nice springboard by Hakushi. Pretty typical move today, but back then, not everybody was doing springboards. Look at that TV they're watching it on. There's the bad guy with Rikishi making a change, making a difference. And we got the hog farmer with his John Deere hat on. She left me. She wrote me a John Deere letter. Hakushi's out. I did not know, Ray, that a Hakushi and Undertaker match existed. Maybe I forgot. That had to have been in 95 then, right? When Taker was, when Hakushi was still a heel. I wonder what show it was on. Raw? Superstars? Oof. Taking Horowitz down. Oh, 97 Japan. Oh, okay. So it definitely wasn't on TV. No wonder I don't remember it. There's a chance I own that match. I just have to do it. I got to bite the bullet. It's going to cost me $1,000. I've just been putting it off. I broke my hard drive that has the majority of the wrestling footage on it. And I only had some of it backed up. I've been meaning to back it up, and then it fell off my desk. It's been about a year now, and fucked it up and rattled it to shit. So it's either recopy everything. It took me years to recopy all my discs, and I also had just tons and tons and terabytes full of downloads of matches that I had found over the years and was able to gather and sort out and organize and shit. Just amazing footage, and it's broken. So when I took it to my computer place, he's like, there's really only one thing we can do. We can send away for it. We have to send it off. They can repair the hard drive, get the data off of there, but something like that usually costs like $1,000. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to maybe just wait a little while. But one of these days, I just need to send it away and get it done. That way I can regain access to everything I have. Because right now I can only, at an instant, I can only probably get to 40% of what I have. I'm missing a lot. So maybe somewhere that Hakushi and Undertaker match is in there. But basically when I plug it in now, it makes a noise. Like when it's spinning in there or whatever the hell a hard drive does, it's like clicking or making a noise, and it's just not loading anything when I plug it in. So my mistake. Yeah, Ramon, most of my Raw episodes were 1 disc per episode. Although when I did them on VHS tapes, a lot of times I'd put 2 or 3 Raw episodes. Usually 2, but sometimes if I got 8-hour tapes, I would do 3 episodes of Raw. So basically, when I put them onto a DVD, I just made sure that I didn't diminish that quality. So it's only going to be as good as what I recorded from VHS. He wants to be a body, Donna. And he got him. Radford's gone. Yeah. Horowitz was using that inside cradle to win some matches. Sonny's mad. Oh, Zach, I did figure out my YouTube issue I was bitching about the other day. It was a very easy fix. There was some weird extension or plugin up in my Google Chrome or something that I must have put in years ago that would, before you could just set your YouTube setting to dark, this was something that would do it for you, and I had clicked it without noticing it. So that's why none of my other pages were doing it, and whenever I switched the YouTube setting, it wouldn't change it back. I'm like, what the fuck? And then finally I see this little teeny tiny little icon. I'm like, oh, I must have clicked that by accident. So I'm dumb. Many problems that I ever run into like that are usually pretty easy fixes. Good. I did not want to see Barry Horowitz be the sole survivor. Look at Savio and all those guys are trying to calm Razor down. Chico, the son of a bitch. He's so mad. Nice, Regina. Yeah, I've got 95 I got 96 and 97 perfect complete seasons of Nitro. Every episode, even with the commercials edited out. One episode per disc. Perfect quality. Not edited, not bullshit like the network. All those were ripped to that hard drive too that I lost, but at least I still have the physical copies of those if I ever need it. And that's the case with my pay-per-views and Raws and all that stuff. But there's also a lot of stuff that I don't have physical copies of, and that's why I want to retrieve that data off that hard drive if I can. 3 points through the uprights. By the way, this was, as Jim Ross alluded to, this was the first time that Survivor Series wasn't associated with Thanksgiving. The year before, the last few years, I think they were doing it on like Thanksgiving Eve or like that Wednesday or something, I think, right? Is how they were doing it. And this is the first time that Survivor Series was on a Sunday. I'm almost certain of it. I think they were either on Thursdays or Wednesdays up until this point. We Are Pro Wrestling. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. It's okay that you're late, WWE fan, but before you got here, we all decided that if you showed up, we weren't going to let you in. You have to pay a fee. I think we agreed on, what did we agree on, guys? $1,500 super chat, and then you're allowed back in. So yeah, I'll just wait for it, WWE fan. Just send it at your leisure. No rush. And then we'll unblock you. Oh, here we go. Here's that top rope powerbomb right here. Gnarly. Oh. That should polish him off. You'd think. You did not see that every day in 1995. It happened 16 times last night on the Indies. But in 1995, that was top rope power bombs weren't a thing. It's Marty and the Kid now. Yeah, I was used to the Thanksgiving Day and Thanksgiving Eve. Yeah, We Are Pro Wrestling 4 on Thanksgiving, 4 on Thanksgiving Eve. So. And in 1994, I remember, was scary for me as a Bret Hart fan. That's why this was such a great night for me personally. The year before, I was visiting family for Thanksgiving, so I didn't see Survivor Series. So I forgot what it was like later on that night when I knew the pay-per-view was happening, because I was staying with family. Like I couldn't ask them to order the pay-per-view. I was just going to miss that one. And when I got the result, I was kind of still just thinking Bret wasn't going to lose to Backlund. I just didn't see that happening. WCW had Hogan. Oh, he missed with the Booker T leg thing. And I just was shocked. I think I called the hotline, or I called somebody and found out that Bret lost. It ruined my weekend, man. It just fucking ruined it. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. And then like 2 days later, Diesel wins the title. And I'm like, what is going on? Fucking Ed Helms and Hangover. What the fuck is going on? It was like that. Now look at Perfect putting over the action. Yeah, I know. I've seen Candido do that move in ECW, but he was on the receiving end of it here, so. Yeah, Kid and Jannetty were tag champs the previous year. And I think Kid and Holly were champs that year, weren't they? Weren't they champs in 95? Or was that 1, 2, 3 Kid and somebody else? Or was it Bob Holly and somebody else? Royal Rumble, right? Tatanka Bam Bam against Kid and Holly, I think. For the titles, right? Or was it Jannetty and Holly? I don't know. Is it me and Axe? Or is it me and Smash? Is it me and Crush or me and Smash? Maybe it's me with Axe, or maybe it's me with Crush. Channing Razor. Think about this. I mean, Psycho Sid at the time was on his way down the card. I mean, he had a pretty rough 95. He was Diesel's bitch. Then he was Shawn's bitch. And now there's really not much left of him here. He's not even around after this. He might work the next pay-per-view. He doesn't work the Royal Rumble. And he's not around at all during 1996 until he comes back in the summer when Warrior no-shows. And 1 year later at this very event, he wins the title from Shawn. It's just crazy. DiBiase. Oh, here comes Sid for the assist. Grapevines, Jannetty. Clotheslines him. He's... You little sneaky bastard. Not even booked for the show, and he's the sole survivor. Yeah, I see the ECW guy in the crowd with the black hair and the ponytail, right? They were everywhere, man, during 95. They were at a few shows in 95. Oh, yeah, there's a guy with the glasses, too. The other dude's there, too. Yeah, I don't know what this is about the new update doing automatic night mode or whatever. Mine's still light. I actually don't like dark mode. I'm one of the few that don't. I don't know why. It's probably just because I'm not used to it. If I just switched it and stayed with it for a while, I'd easily adapt. Like if I'm on my bed reading Twitter late at night or something, I'll just turn the brightness down. If I just turn it all the way down, it achieves the same effect to me. I think it's easier for me to read if it's white. You know, because old people, you know. Sometimes old people don't have good eyesight and shit. Oh, look at Razor. Those honking ass monitors. Those heavy. They have to take the time to put the WWF logos on them. Still, my all-time favorite WWE logo is the good old-fashioned one from this time period. All right, we're being taken to the one and only Todd Pettengill. Okay, here's the heel team. Or sort of. Jim Cornette. Sony Trinitron. Oh, we got Bertha Faye in the ring. I can hear her music. Owen. Because we're coming up to fight right away. Owen always had terrible closings to his promos. That's why I kicked your leg out of your leg. So we're about to go out there and wrestle right away. Owen's the best. The franchise. Way too much of the franchise's package. That's... No. All right, we got Aja Kong in there. Razor is you watching Broncos play. Alundra. I'll tell you what, man. What's the date on that Nitro trash can job? Because we ain't far off from it here. This is one of, I think, the last gasps here of Alundra Blaze. She even has pyro. Like, it seems like when she leaves, Vince is like, Rebend all those things to write Sid. Or to spell Sid. There she comes with her little belt. Bunch of her friends from Japan. Not many of these women, I remember their names. But I believe this is the first women's match since. It has to be. Yeah, they definitely didn't do any of this in 94 or 3 or 2. This would have been 88. One and only time. I'm trying to think if there was one 87. There might have been. Yeah, there was. There was women's match in Survivor Series 87. Maybe there wasn't one in 88. So I think it's only once or twice. I think this is twice. Alundra Blaze, here we go. So I think they were about to, because they just kept putting one different large heel in front of Alundra. It was Bull Nakano, then it was Bertha Faye, and then it seemed to be Aja Kong after this. I just can't remember if Aja was she WWF Women's Champion? Did she beat Alundra Blaze and Alundra Blaze won it back from her? Or did she not beat her for it at all? Because I know Bull Nakano and Bertha both won the titles, I think. Oh, nice. Thank you, Jim Ross. At the time, I would not have known many of these women. Wow, big swing. Cesaro swing. We got a little Power Ranger in there. Were the Power Rangers a thing in 95? They probably were, right? Oh, she's a 3-time. I don't remember with Bertha Faye, when she came in, did they make... I feel like they did a one-man gang thing with her. Like, she came in as Rhonda Singh, but then they turned her into Bertha Faye, I think, kind of like how Gang became Akeem. Because I thought when she first debuted, she was Rhonda. And then all of a sudden, she's this fucking walking SNL skit, because that's just Vince. I'm glad they didn't do nothing to Bull Nakano, because she's awesome. I see her in polka dots. Alundra with the top rope high cross. Yeah, imagine that. We are 2 years away from the screw job. If you would have told my 18-year-old ass at that time, say, dude, in 2 years, wait to see what happens to your boy. I mean, like, well, that makes no sense. Vince would never do that to Brett. Shawn sucks. Wow. She basically did the Eddie Guerrero trio, but with double underhook suplexes. Mr. Perfect with the be at home making your man something to eat. There's Aja Kong. Yeah, she's tough looking, man. I wouldn't pick a fight with Aja Kong. The ass whooping she would deliver to me. Oh, what a suplex. That was like a T-bone. Or a Tazplex or something. What are they called? Bertha Faye looks like that gum in the 80s or the 90s you could chew, the wrapper. Yeah, I don't know why. I think it probably played into Vince or Lunder maybe leaving is just because they didn't take the women's division very seriously. I mean, they had one person under contract, and then she was used, I think, as the bridge to get a lot of the Japanese talent over there just to work with her to create the illusion of a division, and then bring in somebody, take the belt off of her for her to beat her back, shit like that. They did that several times, and since Rhonda Singh was so kind of wild and crazy and vicious, why they took the ridiculous turn with her. I would think it maybe annoyed Medusa. I don't know. This was like Ultimate Warrior / Asuka / Marty Jannetty. You put the three of them together, I think that wrestler's who you get. Yep, she got her. I wish Lunder Blaze had access to, some of the Joshi talent now. Holy shit. Send them back 25 years into 1995. Oh, I didn't even catch I forgot Whippleman's out there. Whippleman was on the last Tales from the Territories, which was pretty good. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Bertha taking it to Alundra. Look at a Big Bertha go. That's probably the only reason why Vince named her Bertha Faye, is so on commentary he could call her Big Bertha. Look at Big Bertha go. That's probably the whole thing. Horrible botch. Kyoto counted 3, and Alundra's like, nope, that wasn't the finish, idiot. She's frustrated. Oh, God. This is... Oh, okay. Whew. Now she's like, now count it. I love that she told the ref. Now, idiot. Not Big Bertha again. Boy, Vince likes to say that. Vince probably personally picked out that outfit. And we'll put her in fishnets. Ugh. A German. She pinned. Look at how quickly Bertha just ran right out of there. She's just out. She just did her job and left the ring. She's like, I'm out of here. Yeah, there's really no point to have this match. The women's division was a non-existent, imaginary thing. They had a couple of women's matches on the show, but no stories. Usually just one feud, and that is Alundra and whoever she's working with. Nothing underneath. No secondary titles. No undercard. You'll never get a women's title match at this, or a women's match at this time that wasn't a title match. And I would have loved to have a women's division, but I had no interest in it back then because it meant nothing. So Alundra obviously felt that way too, and she had no problem dumping that belt in the trash can. Oh yeah, get you some, Aja. Oh, why no scroll guide? Well, last week's Survivor Series actually got hit with a copyright match, which isn't a big deal, but it blocked the video in a couple of countries. And it's just because of that Road Wild. The audio on that is so muffled, I didn't think anything would get picked up, but it did. So it's no big deal. It doesn't mean anything. It's just I probably don't want that to happen again, so I'm going to change up the while I'm getting ready and putting my makeup on screen. I could crop that out and just continue to use it if you guys like it. But I didn't really have time to put a new one of those together today. I was doing shit, so I just went with the simple way. Okay, good. I'll bring the scroll back. I'll update it. No problem. These dames. These dames. Jeez. Caught her. Oh, nice. Jim Ross is going to fix Mr. Perfect up with Aja Kong. That'll be a great relationship. Ooh, caught her with a Judas effect. Or no, she caught her with John Cena's Jupiter punch. What's that thing that he was doing for a while there? His little punch, little sideways punch. Here we go. Every Japanese wrestler that WWE ever brought in used the Orient Express theme. Bull Nakano used this theme too. I'm certain Bull Nakano used this theme when she was there, right? They would just recycle it. They recycled Kurt Angle's theme a bunch of times too. I mean, you can come up with another, Japanese-inspired theme or something if you have to. You can make two. Jim Johnson's super smart. I do like this theme, though. Oh, yeah, you put Bull and... Oh, check it out. In Alundra on today's roster? Hell yeah. I'm Bill Clinton. He looks just like him. Every year they find a guy that really looks. There was a guy that. There was a George Bush version too. Remember they had that Comedy Central show? He looked a lot like him. Looked way more like him than Will Ferrell did. Neither do I. Yeah, the shit hadn't hit the fan yet with him and the Monica Lewinsky stuff. A couple years off from that. He was about 3 years in, I guess, to his first term at this point. Looks just like him, though. No, unfortunately, that's not the real Bill Clinton, no. I don't think he'd be down there with that little security. With these jabroni Secret Service guys from the Indies. You would be too. You lived in my neighborhood. That on SNL, that Daryl Hammond did a good Bill Clinton. So did Phil Hartman. But Daryl Hammond was easily the best. Oh yeah, we got Goldust, early Goldust. Goldust just debuted the previous month. Goldust is 1 month in. I have a magazine cover, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, I think. Still have it. When Goldust first debuted, and it's an image of Goldust with the text reading, "The WWE has finally gone too far. The WWF has finally gone too far." They thought this was so over the top. They got so many complaints because it was perceived gay, and it's just so scary. Oh my God, what if my kid sees a guy in a wig? How will he make it through life? People were freaked out, gone too far. He was feeling up people in matches and shit. Hilarious. But for that time, man, to a fan, to me, it's funny. To other people, it's super crazy, over the top, offensive, and not even for the right reasons. they're not offended by it because it's a poor portrayal of a gay man. They're mad because gay people offend them. And this one's so in their fucking face. All they can think to do is scream and cry and whine. Goldust didn't make me gay. I was fine. Imagine when he was coming up with all this. I mean, he was going so in the other direction to piss off Dusty. I mean, his relationship with Dusty had a lot to do with this gimmick. Goldust is one of the best characters ever. Ever. I mean, he was really treading the line of the time period when this would have been even less acceptable. I mean, if they would have tried this shit in 1990, probably would have been even worse. But we're starting to move into the next century, and WWE needs something controversial. They need something that's going to be slapped on the cover of pro wrestling magazines and extensive write-ups on it and opinions and people who are fine with the gimmick, people who are offended by the gimmick. I think that's what they were going for. They got it. I still have all my wrestling magazines from that time period, how many, pieces were done on him and what people thought of it. And his theme music was fantastic. They changed it up a little bit as he went along. It was well composed. He changed his look up too. The only Goldust one I didn't like wasn't a fan of the artist, the one with the ball gag in his mouth and all that stuff, all that crazy shit. I wasn't a fan of that. Big man. I kind of wish Jim Ross would have acknowledged who he was. Jim Ross called many a Dustin Rhodes match in WCW. And here Ross is like, he's a big fella. A year later, Jim Ross would be much more ornery. And I don't think he'd put up with that. He'd say, this is Dustin Rhodes. And he'd go on and on about it. But they weren't there yet. They weren't ready to be like that. They were still going to just act like this is a completely new guy. That he himself wasn't also in the WWE back in 1990 and 91 with Dusty before going back to WCW. I think it would have made for a more interesting story if they did acknowledge who he was. And the fact that he's Dustin Rhodes, son of Dusty Rhodes. And this is the name and the identity he is choosing to adopt. And that would, to me, even add more questions to the story, because now we know who he is and who this person is. This isn't just a stranger dressing this way. This is somebody we're familiar with dressing this way. And I think they should have made mention of that on TV. Good. Bam Bam. And another stat I'm not aware of, I can't think of too many Goldust and Bam Bam Bigelow matches. Dustin and Bam Bam may have come across each other in WCW after he left WWE as Goldust, like in the late 90s, right? They were probably both there, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not, actually. Unless Bam Bam dropped by WCW while Dustin was there previously, I don't think these guys worked together before. There could be a Japan match that exists. Sorry, I don't want to blow in the microphone. I have a gnat. I was about to let out a big blow on the mic. I'm like, I would kill your earbuds or your eardrums. Yeah, WCW 9901. So, yeah, somewhere in there they might have had a run-in again. But Bam Bam here, he was on his way out. I don't think Bam Bam was in the Royal Rumble the next year. I think this is one of his last appearances. This might be Bam Bam's last night in the company for what I remember. And so he's kind of putting this new character over on his way out. Oof. Thank you, We Are Pro Wrestling. Their only match against each other. Yeah, I can't think of any other ones. I guess this would be a kind of a similar scenario, this match, to what we saw at Good Friends, Better Enemies between Razor and Vader. You know, Vader's new, just got there. Razor's on his way out. Job him out. That was Razor's last appearance. This was one of Bam Bam's last appearance, if not his last one. Chris Ludecki, appreciate the $10. Hey, Greg, hope all is well. In 1997, they did a sit-down talking about Goldust, the character, and his dad, Dusty. Yeah, I remember that. What was the point of it? I know with Mankind, the point of that was not to turn him face. Yeah, I think that was just they liked the in-depth getting to know the characters so they could do more with him storyline-wise. I think that was maybe part of what Russo wanted too. But it was just something they were trying. I thought they both worked. I liked, because the one with Mankind ended up getting him over as a babyface, but the one that they did with Goldust, I think that was where he turned on Terry, right? Didn't he turn on Terry in that one? Or unless they did a follow-up later and he turned on her there. That might have been it. I think it was. I think that first one came with the Mankind, and then maybe after Pillman died and they had to rectify that stuff with Terry, they brought him back together, and that's where he turned on him. But I think when they did that, that was finally them doing what I'm suggesting here, is not shying away from who Dustin is and who Goldust is, especially at a time where you are in deep competition with WCW. You need names. So when you get somebody with experience, who's well known, with a legendary family name, why would you change that or pretend it doesn't exist? If he wants to be Goldust, fine, be Goldust. But what they did in 97 in that sit-down interview, I think they should have been doing here in 95 to let the fans know and not play dumb. That, gee, I can see Goldust's. I think he's legit wearing a thong in there. I see it. That's nice. So I just kind of wish they were doing that from the beginning, because Dustin Rhodes is a name. I mean, at least they kept Vader's name, you know, but they couldn't have Mero, couldn't be Johnny B. Bad, so he came in as Mero, and they were constantly changing people up. It's kind of in their blood. It's kind of in Vince's blood anyway, all that shit he did to the NXT stars. Nice belly to back. From what I remember, I think this is kind of a long match. The stakes are pretty low. I mean, this is just a simple guy leaving, putting over a guy just getting there. This is all this match is going to be. So other than that, it doesn't have much meaning. Goldust trying to... Vince McMahon, man, I'll tell you what, that boy, he loves him. He loves it when somebody shoots the half and rides high. He loves that. Oh my God, how many times can that man call that? Let me guess, he doesn't. There's no wasted motion, right? He wastes no motion. He's one way. I love that Mr. Perfect's out there just cracking up, because this is probably, I mean, it was, I remember vividly, this was a pretty shocking gimmick. Even though I think the people who were mad were being little bitches about it and should lighten the fuck up, I still acknowledge that it was an extremely controversial gimmick. And it's definitely, you're not going to have a guy like this out there and not expect to get some letters to the office from the Karens and the overprotective, idiotic moms and dads of the world. Yeah, this is a match that was just, it's just on the card. Every pay-per-view has these type of matches, and these matches can be good. I mean, these are two Legendary dudes. Both should be Hall of Famers. But it's also a match that we haven't gotten ever, so the fact that Dustin Rhodes and Bam Bam Bigelow exists on a WWE pay-per-view, I think is cool. Even if the match is kind of pointless, but that's why we have the chat. What does Rob and Matt have to say about this? What do you guys think? Who's the ref in this? Oh, Kyoto. That's right. Bam Bam was used as Boss Man's. A good point. That match was at the Rumble, I think. Bam Bam was used as Boss Man's last WWF match, and years later he was in the same position, but now Goldust put him over. Yeah, so same thing. He was getting there. Boss Man was leaving. He was filling that void. Oh, and Goldust beats him. I thought this match like went another 8 minutes. I swear to God. Nice. That was a lot less painful than I thought. The most bizarre. He's an enigma. Or all that other shit Vince would say. What's the score of this game? Is it 10-3? 10-3. Charges. 4-4 San Fran, 5-3 LA. Call him victorious. No curtain call. No curtain call yet. I don't think he had the curtain call quite yet. I think he was doing that clothesline thing that he hit Bam Bam with. Oh. Nice replay here. Let me turn this music down so I don't get any more bullshit. And Goldust really hadn't perfected his outfit yet, too. I wasn't really a fan of this texture of yellow. Just a little too yellow. It would become more golden as he would progress. Those bodysuits had to be a bitch to wrestle in. I can't imagine how hot they were. Oh, we're back to Bubba. I had a friend, man, back in the day, and she hated Bill Clinton so bad. She would always call him Bubba. Bubba was his name. Oh, Bob Backlund's here. Fucking Bubba. Not my Bub. My Bub's way better. You hear that, President? It's Mr. Backlund. Bob is so weird. Look at Todd's face. Irrelevant employees of the federal government. What does that mean? I remember when Bob Backlund made that announcement he was going to run for president. I thought something serious was going to go down. That was like a higher power type of thing for me because for some reason, I mean, they did recently put the belt on Backlund, so I thought if he's got some major announcement, it could be something big, maybe, or maybe he's found a protege and he's bringing somebody in from WCW. I thought it was going to be a big deal, and then he just announces that he's running for president. What a letdown. My God. I was like, for reals? No way. Okay, we're getting a recap here of Undertaker's beef with everybody here, Kama and Mabel. And then he pins him. This was a big deal back then, guys. Huge deal. Watching this. You just did not see The Undertaker get pinned. I don't recall when Undertaker was pinned prior to that. I mean, he went unpinned for a long time. I mean, if he was getting pinned here or there, you know, on live events or something, perhaps, maybe, but he was just not getting pinned. Yeah, this was on Raw, and then they crushed his face, him and Yoko. I think it was Mabel that really did it. And so this was going to be interesting because this is Undertaker's first match since all that happened. But he wasn't quite healed yet, so... Oh, my God, Jerry Lawler. Oh, Lawler. Look at that. We got Kane on the other side. And we got Triple H. What a team. And Mabel. He the king. They got to carry this monster. I mean, that doesn't even look that sturdy. God, don't drop him. I mean, I wonder, is that one of Savage's old ones that they just repurposed, or is that a whole new throne there? He might have been my favorite guy that wore the crown and cape. He's definitely not my favorite King of the Ring winner, but in terms of that ugly crown and shit, he rocked it. He had the crown on his head, and it didn't look that ridiculous. He's got the sunglasses. I mean, I think it's four guys carrying him. I mean, it's four strong people carrying him. That's it's only about 150 pounds a piece or something like that, so it's not that hard if you have four guys. But it's just he's big, and the platform is narrow, and it feels like it could be easily toppled, or somebody could lose their balance or something. I don't know. I mean, if Mabel needed me to carry him by myself on one of those things, like, I could do it, but I just prefer help, you know. That way I wouldn't hurt my shoulders, you know, when I've got him up there. Just stabilize him a little more. Henry O. Godwin. They're all coming out there to Savio's music. And Savio's fucking salsa dancing in the ring or something. Fatu is here, guys. I don't know if you know, but what time it is. It's time to make a change. It's time to make a change. That's all I know about Fatu. I'm not sure how many changes he made. Look at that outfit. Good Lord. Don't adjust your sets, as JR would say. And here comes The Undertaker. Ice cold air pumping into the arena. Crowd marking out. We weren't quite at the lighters yet. Very cool. Yeah, Taker was right up there under Brett for me. I had mad respect for Taker at this time. And I felt like he was a strong enough character to where no matter how bad things got with WCW, I always felt like WWE could say, well, at least we have Undertaker. And now he's wearing this thing. I remember at the time it didn't really occur to me. I mean, maybe it did. I knew he was wearing it for protection, but I kind of thought he was keeping it. So when I saw him like that, I was like, oh, that's how Undertaker's going to look now. I didn't realize it was kind of temporary. I think even Brett ripped it off in their Royal Rumble match, and then he kept it off after that. But yeah, it kind of makes more sense that it would be a temporary setup and not permanent. Yeah, Victor, that was Rikishi. He's the one in there making those changes. All right, Undertaker is 70% of the way done with his entrance, so I'm just going to go to the fridge real quick. Be back in 2 seconds. All right, we are back. Grabbed an IPA this time. He's not even up the ring steps yet. There he is. Yes, he is. He's raising the lights. JJ Leg in the house. It's good to see you. Welcome back. Good to see anybody else that's been made their presence known. Yeah, so let's look at this team. They do have quite a good amount of BSK guys in there, don't they? So it's Taker and Rikishi and Savio. And who's the other guy? Oh, it's Godwin. Oh, yeah, I think it is all BSK. Was Canterbury a BSK? I always thought that Godwin got along good with Taker, but I could be wrong. Look at Mabel kind of freaked out. That was a really good facial by Mabel. Mabel's like, what the hell is that? Look at Lawler getting out of there. I like that Lawler is sharing the King spotlight with King Mabel. I'm the king. I was legitimately worried that Mabel was going to beat Diesel at SummerSlam that year for the title. I thought that it was going to happen. I was happy it didn't. I just remember thinking, I'm like, it feels like Vince is going with him. Like he won the King of the Ring and he's on a push. Maybe I felt like they wanted to make him like another Yokozuna and have him carry the title for, finally somebody to beat him. But I'm glad they didn't go in that direction. But I thought they were gonna. I thought he was gonna be Yoko Part 2. He was a part of BSK. Good. So yeah, it's the entire damn faction over here. Some sort of adhesion. It's just a face mask. Have you ever seen him smile? Oh my God, it's so sad to see Kane on the other side. You belong over there, Kane. With your brother. They don't know they're brothers yet. Nobody told them. Look at Triple H. I'm stuck in this mid-card madness. Nonsense. Big backdrop. Vince always putting this shit over. Fatu making a difference. What differences was that? Look at these two guys, these co-conspirators. 6 Survivor Series later. No, 4 Survivor Series later. They're running over Steve Austin. Oh, no effect. Helmsley, you're Mr. Blue Blood. You didn't do your homework on them Samoans? The Cement Cranium family. Lawler is dressed like the fabulous Moolah would dress. Oh, he tells Isaac Yankem to get in there. I just cannot believe they named They named a dentist Yankem. Jesus. I remember when he was coming in. I remember hearing about him coming in prior to him getting there. Hearing that they were bringing in Unabomb, and his size was like from a little bit I'd seen of him in magazines and stuff. Like he was as big as Sid. And then once you started seeing Lawler on TV saying he was going to bring in his dentist, you're like, oh my God, it's going to be him. Helmsley and Yankem. Has Isaac Yankem met Katie Vick yet? So much future history between so many of these guys. I mean, 1 year later, we'd have fake Diesel in this match. Look at Mo. Look at Sir Mo. Yeah, that's quite the difference in character. Went from Lawler's dentist to Undertaker's brother. Who is the wrestler who has the most repackages? Good question. I think maybe right at the top of the list would have to be Ed Leslie, Brutus, the Butcher, the Zodiac, the Disciple, the Man with No Name, the Booty Man. What else? Nope. And then back in the ring. Rikishi's had a few renditions of himself. Yeah, Taker and Mabel would basically reconcile and they would team up, or Mabel would be a part of the ministry when he was Viscera. Savio and his dancing. What is that? We're probably going to watch some Starcades next month. Oh, now he's doing it. Oh, Lawler. Oh, yeah. God, Lawler is that fucking mullet. God. He looks so ridiculous. I mean, Rikishi, at least I can handle Fatu's mullet. I can't handle Lawler's. What does his trunk say? Or I think erase the hate. Yeah, erase the hate. I don't think Rikishi succeeded at erasing the hate. It's gotten a lot worse since 1995. Michael Kumo, appreciate the $5. And here comes Mabel crashing and burning into the exposed. No, it's not exposed. The very first house show event match I saw live was Fatu vs. Sir Mo, classic match. That was the first match ever. I don't even think I know mine. That's an interesting one, though. Oh, there is the big slam. It's all over. I know they just kind of dick around here for a while until Undertaker just goes ape shit. Yeah, Fatu versus Sir Mo. So then that has to have been around this time then, right? Ooh. Oh, yeah, we could do I like the one night only idea. I do, actually. We could watch that, maybe, the 97 show. One night only. I'm into that, Victor. For members only, we need to do one soon. Chevy Vega. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I have some TNT matches. I remember when he came in as Quang, some were excited because he kind of had a rep. Yeah, I'm down with a SmackDown episode too. Anything is fine on SmackDown. Whatever like a super famous one is. I'll throw some suggestions up in a post here soon. That way we can toss them around. Be like, which one do you want to do? Clash of Champions is a good idea as well. All good ones. Tremendous competitor is that Savio Vega. I've met Savio Vega. He is a tremendous competitor. The Arnold episode from '99. That's a good one. His verbal tirade. Damn. That's it. Nope. He's going to kick out. Kicked out of your pile driver. Couldn't even beat Savio with it. King, you suck. Remember when they would do those karate fighters tournaments on TV? They were plugging the fucking karate fighters. I love that shot of the ring. That's such an awesome wide shot. It makes you feel like you're there. Oh, it kind of didn't even hit me that they're all wearing rest in peace shirts. There is a fucking gnat buzzing around my face. I'm going to lose my mind. When I lived in the Southeast as a kid, like in North Carolina, like in the summer, and you have gnats and shit and mosquitoes. If I was like riding my bike, I would sometimes get like a gnat in my eye or something, and it would sting like a motherfucker. It would just go right in your eyeball. And you have to try to like get it out. It would happen all the time. It doesn't happen here so much, but this little bastard. Nice. Oh, love it. Savio blocks the pile driver and then tags the Undertaker, much to the pissing of the pants of Lawler. And now he wants to tag his partners. They don't want nothing to do with it. Mabel's just like, nope, 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 nothing to do with it. And now, King, you are in a world of shit. That was great. Yeah, I don't even think he no-sold it. I think he blocked it, Ray. That was awesome, though. He put his hands up so his head didn't come down, and then he just tagged Undertaker. So great. So great. And Lawler's about to get tombstone. Tombstone him as fucking far to hell as you can. Oh, pretty good one, too. And that is it. And here comes his big brother, or his little big brother. Or his big little brother. It's in there somewhere. Kevin, how are you doing, my man? Welcome. Thanks for being here. We are in the middle of the Jerry Lawler team against the Undertaker team, or the Mabel team against the Undertaker team. And Undertaker has just eliminated 2 in a row, Jerry Lawler and his soon-to-be brother, Isaac Yankem. Big Daddy Kane, Isaac Jacobs. Nope. The slop. Oh, Triple H got caught by the ponytail. I like how he has a little ribbon in his ponytail. It's pretty. Oh, big choke slam from the outside. That's an underrated spot. Choke slamming him over the top rope. And here's Mabel going from behind here. So Undertaker just eliminated 3 guys in a row. Now he's been bellied to bellied by Big Mabel. He's moving him in position now. Big splash or big leg drop. Oh, God. I could not sit there as a professional wrestler. I couldn't sit there still as a guy like Mabel. Oh, shit, he's dancing. He's dancing. That's what you get, son. You're going to dance like that in front of the Undertaker? Oh, Mabel struggled to get away from him through those ropes. Oh, Mo is caught. Mabel is running. Getting the fuck up out of there. Mo's by himself. Oh, he's going to get choke slammed. Mabel running. Oh, my gosh. The Dark Side. I forgot what the name of Mabel's team was. The Royals or something like that. Taker was fucking dominant. And things were starting to change for Undertaker too. You know, he's about to get a title shot at the Royal Rumble. And he's just been so busy feuding with people every year to keep him busy, keep him away from the title. Because you can't put him in a title match if he's not going to win it unless you book a casket match type of situation like they did at the Royal Rumble that year, where you can beat him without beating him kind of thing. But they kept him away from the title because they wanted to keep him special. But then he got pinned at King of the Ring in 95, and it felt like you could start treating him as a normal contender now. And his name should always be in the discussion whenever talking about title shots. And sometimes they just left him out because he was always just busy feuding with some monster heel. Jim Ross. All right, they're talking about the main event. British Bulldog gets the title match at the next pay-per-view against the winner. Perfect did the pen thing. I can do the pen thing. Oh, here's Brett. Look how young Brett looks. It's going to be a big battle. Wild card matchup next. That's right. He feels like Wayne Gretzky. Because I'm the fucking greatest. Brett's never been the most humble babyface. His fucking slogan is, "There's literally no one in the world better than me." Best there is, was, and never will be. Seems like a heel slogan. The technical ability. You don't need a technical. Look at Nash. A year-long run for him. Big sexy. Yeah, wild card match would be fun to bring back. I'd be into that. Totally. High impact power maneuvers. It's not my choice of verbiage for like trash talk. You keep messing with me, I'm going to hit you with high impact power maneuvers. Doesn't sound scary. Sounds like something Vince McMahon would say. Look at the Bulldog. Jacking himself up. Check me out. You were with the opposing team. Oh, yeah, because Bulldog had just recently linked up with Jim Cornette. And Cornette's kind of playing both sides because he's managing guys on both sides, which sucks for him. Look at Ahmed. So it's Ahmed, Sean, Davey, and Sid. Sid and Sean are just finished up their feud against each other. So they hate each other. Bulldog and Sean have a history. Ahmed's brand new. And Sean is buddied up to him quick. I remember thinking we were getting close with Ahmed. I feel like Ahmed Johnson was what WWE wanted Ahmed Johnson to be, what Goldberg was in WCW. I think that's what they were hoping to get out of him. His look was so awesome. But I think he just lacked the athletic ability that, somebody like a Goldberg had. He had the look and he had a lot of the intensity and stuff, but I liked him as Intercontinental Champion even, but he just seemed like he declined or something. He didn't get better as time went on. He got worse, and that's weird. Usually you get better as time goes on, and he got progressively kind of more sloppy and clunky looking in the ring and stuff. I don't know. But I had high aspirations for him because when he came in, I was excited. Again, I was like, WWE needed stars, and I felt like, oh, this looks like a guy they could make. So I was excited at first, but... And Ahmed couldn't stay healthy. It's not exactly all his fault either because he was pretty hot there when he got hurt. And he was over with the audience, and there was about to be something very interesting with him happening prior to him getting injured when Farouk debuted and kicked him in the kidneys and injured him. But I think I think he won a battle royal, and he was supposed to get a title shot, I think against Shawn Michaels, after they had previously teamed together at In Your Houses. And of course he was Intercontinental Champion at the time. So I think as Intercontinental Champion, he would have gotten a shot at Shawn, and I would have loved to see how that match played out. And if Shawn could have pulled a good match out of him, if Shawn would have been fair to him, hopefully wouldn't bully him or act like a dick to him. Otherwise, Ahmed would probably beat the fuck out of him. But I would have really liked to see history, have that play out in history, and Ahmed never getting hurt. But we never got it. So that slowed him down. That tripped him up. He never came back the same. So it's not totally his fault. But I feel like that intensity to where the entire world is like, holy shit, who is this guy? That Goldberg was able to capture somehow. I think WWE kind of had that type of thing in mind for Ahmed. But yeah, and Ahmed in WCW was pretty bad too. I like this look for Davey. It creeped me out too. Not creeped me out, but it just kind of shocked me. After he turned heel on that Raw, right when Lex Luger went to WCW, he still had the long hair. And I was used to Davey Boy with the long hair. He had the long hair ever since he came back, ever since the British Bulldogs left WWE, he returned with the long braids, and he would always have some form of long hair in whether he was in WWE or WCW. So when he turned heel on Diesel that night on Raw, and then the next time we saw him on TV, he's with Jim Cornette and he's cut his hair and he's in the ring cutting a promo. I was like, holy crap, he looks like Davey from the Bulldogs. He looked exactly like 1986 Davey Boy again to me, and it blew my mind. But then I grew used to him with the short hair and really liked this version of him. Thought it was good. Victor, thanks, my shoot brother. According to Ahmed. Well, that tells you all you need to know right there, Victor. Those first 3 words. According to Ahmed, he was scheduled to beat The Undertaker for the title at the pay-per-view they were scheduled to wrestle at. I don't believe that, though. Neither do I. That was Canadian Stampede. I don't think they were going to be taking the title off of him and putting it on Ahmed at that time, although maybe they were. Ahmed had just turned heel, which was weird. I didn't see that happening. That, and plus another thing you have to remember, if Ahmed is to be believed, that would have happened on the undercard. I don't think Ahmed, even if he was healthy, I think Canadian Stampede was going to be the 10-man tag, was going to be the main event no matter what. That match was about the Hearts and the Hart Foundation and all that shit. Undertaker's one of the biggest stars in your company's history. He's your current champion. If you're beating him for the title, you are not doing it on the undercard of a 2-hour show. Ahmed's full of shit. That's my opinion. Mr. Perfect, I didn't care for that joke. I think you were treading a line there, asshole. All right, men are getting in the ring here. Sid is running the ropes. Quite a lot of talent in here. Ahmed jumps over the top rope. Ooh, nice kick. And here comes the heartbreak. And this is also his first match back since the incident in Syracuse with those from either 1 to 9 Marines, depending on which version you hear. Beat the shit out of Shawn in the parking lot of some bar. He had to forfeit the Intercontinental title. He was out of the ring with a concussion for a while. And this is his first match back. Previous month at that In Your House was when he had to give the title to Dean Douglas, who then immediately lost it to Razor Ramon. And this was Shawn's first match back. I was happy to see him back. I liked Shawn. I just think, though, like, at this point I was old, so I was past the age of, being the 12-year-old kid who would fantasize about, like, what wrestler he wanted to be. But if I was going to fantasize about what wrestler to be, I just don't know if I'd be wanting to dress like a village person and shake my ass around all the time and shake it badly and not even shake it that good. Shawn with his terrible moves. Oh, look, I love this. I've talked about this before in podcasts over the years. Mr. Perfect is all up the ass of Shawn on commentary here. He is so jealous. And I don't know if it's like, part of me thinks it's his character to be jealous, but also part of me thinks that he's seeing the success that Shawn has. He knows Shawn's probably going to win the title. He knows he never did. He probably always has considered himself better than Shawn as a wrestler. There was a time when he was much higher up on the card than Shawn. And part of me could never tell with Kurt if he was proud of Shawn or if he was resentful of Shawn. They have history. They go all the way back to the AWA days. Kurt Hennig was, I think, a mentor at times to Shawn in their lives earlier in the career and stuff, but I never thought or heard of them as being like overly close or anything like that. So I just felt like some of Hennig's commentary here, his delivery just felt like he meant it type of thing. Either that or he's just really good at making you think that. Jim Ross with a pretty good question there. How do you think Monsoon came to make these two teams? Good question. Who's winning the football game? It is 13-10, closing out the second quarter. So we're about to go to halftime. Oh, no, we got Chargers here are driving. It is 3rd and 10 on the 20. And they are going to have 4th down here, probably going to go for a field goal, and it's probably going to be 16-10 at the half. Look at the size of Yoko. Perfect goes, I don't know, McMahon, I could never be on the same team of somebody I've already fought with. Well, perfect. Let's just think about it. How many Survivor Series teams have you been on? And of those teams, how many members have you had matches with? I'd bet there's a few. I got to think about how many Survivor Series matches Perfect's been in if I want to know this, but... Oh, wait, listen. Perfect example was just 3 years earlier in Survivor Series 1992 when Randy Savage convinced him to join him after the two of them had lots of physical fights during the Ric Flair Macho Man feud. I mean, there was at WrestleMania 8, there was basically a whole second match taking place with Savage and Mr. Perfect. So they had fought plenty of times. So there you go right there, Mr. Perfect. You are a liar. That spot, Shawn and Cornette did the tennis racket to the ass at every show and match they were in, whether it was Raw, pay-per-view, or live event. If Shawn was in there against one of Cornette's guys, I think one of the funniest ones he did was, I think, to Ted DiBiase. It was like when he first turned babyface, he had a match with Bundy. He had a match with King Kong Bundy on Raw. And he's done this spot a lot, too. He would do this with Ted the same way he would do the racket with Cornette. And he would do like a baseball slide on the outside of the ring while DiBiase had his back turned and then just go put his arm around him. And then DiBiase would flip out. Same thing. And he'd do the spot with Cornette and the tennis racket every time. Look at Timmy White. Shout out to him. Shout out to Fuji on the outside of the ring. We got Fuji and DiBiase on the outside of the ring, along with Cornette. Timmy White is the referee. At least 90% of these guys in the ring are Hall of Famers. 80%. But 90% should be. I love that he just has an exclamation point on the back of his gear. This is kind of interesting here. We're watching Shane Douglas and Shawn Michaels. This match has not happened very often. And these two guys, I don't think, really liked each other. And when Shane would go on to be the franchise and he would really get over in that way, and on the mic too. And you got Shawn as DX a couple years later. It would have been fun. It would have been really fun if they could have tried to do some business together. Oh, wow. Trying to pick up. Oh, yeah, did he already slam Yoko? I think Ahmed had already debuted on TV. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think that Ahmed had showed up on Raw maybe the Monday before and body slammed Yokozuna. And then I'm pretty sure he body slams him again here. Oh, we got somebody down. Nobody home for the Vader bomb on the Dean. Dean Douglas, my God. Shane Douglas used to have good matches in WWE when he was there as like a jobber kind of. And they would need filler matches for prime time or whatever. He would give guys good matches. He had a great performance in one of the early Royal Rumbles, maybe like 91. He was in there in great shape, super athletic, fought hard. I'm trying to think that 88 team that Perfect was on. He was on that thing, though, I think, with like Andre and Harley Race and maybe Bravo. So I don't think he fought any of those guys ever, which is interesting. 89 would have been maybe Perfect with like against Piper, so he would have had Rude and the Rougeaus. Okay, so Perfect might be right there too. Rude was his boy, and the Rougeaus, there would have been no reason for either one of those guys at that time to cross paths with Perfect. Yeah, and then 92 was Savage. Ooh. He teamed with Demolition in 90. Michaels is in. He's going to be press slammed by Ahmed into Dean Douglas. At least Dean Douglas and Razor are kind of matching. Look at Perfect. He's dying to get more shots in on Shawn. Tell me what's so great about him, McMahon. He hates it. He hates that Shawn is over and is making money. He's going to win championships. He hates it. Yeah, Dean Douglas and Razor, there is bad blood. Razor decks Dean, who's his teammate, and Shawn rolls him up for the 3. And the first person out is Douglas. What a surprise. Hey, I was right. Oh, and Rude. Ace, Race, Andre, Bravo, and Rude. I love it. They're both trying to jive each other, these two. They had to start getting used to being friends because they were feuding against each other when Bulldog was a babyface. Now they are both heels and have to be brother-in-laws, and now they're going to be friends. I want to catch this Nat and torture him. He's so elusive. Ooh, Owen tagged Razor. Smart move by the King of Hearts. Hey, Chico, remember us? Look at Shawn's like, why not? You guys have already had a match this year at SummerSlam. The Razor's like, no ladder up there. And remember, Shawn was the champion going into that, and he retained. Just a couple months later, Razor holds that title. You'd think you would book Shawn and Razor for like the next pay-per-view or something, or the Rumble. Because it's the same situation. That was the second time Razor won the title after Shawn forfeited it. So you should have another ladder match with 2 more belts hanging up there, and that would have been the rubber match. Why didn't they do this? Now that I think of it, why didn't they do that with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon in 1995? I know why. That's just not the way WWE booked things. But when you think about Shawn being suspended in 93 and them crowning a new Intercontinental Champion, which happened to be Razor, and then they had the match at WrestleMania 10 with the 2 belts hanging up in the air to determine the real champion, since you technically had 2 Intercontinental Champions. They're in the same situation here in 1995 when Shawn gets beat up by the 9 Tooth Fairies in Syracuse, forfeits the title. Razor Ramon then beats Dean Douglas for that belt on the same night. And here they are at the next pay-per-view of the Survivor Series, mixing it up in the same situation. Shawn is kind of the uncrowned Intercontinental Champion because he never lost the belt. And Razor is the current belt holder. So, since Shawn won one ladder match and Razor won the other, let's do the rubber match. Hang 2 more belts up in the air, and let's crown ourselves an undisputed Intercontinental Champion. Why didn't they do that? As Razor's edges Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels buddies up with all the big guys. He kind of does. Kevin Nash, Sid, Ahmed Johnson. It was kind of fun to see Sid and Shawn, even though it was reluctantly, being back on the same side again. Shawn took it hard, too. He fell down and hit his head rather hard on the mat. Nice knee lift. He slipped on a greasy spot from his hair. Perfect. You used some hair oil, too. You probably borrowed some of Brett's. God, they are going really fast. Oof, gosh. A couple of Kurt Hennig's old AWA buddies in the ring right now. Yeah, I mean, think about that card, though. If they would have done it the next month, that would have been the same night as Brett and British Bulldog. So Brett and Bulldog would have maybe had the Thunder stolen from them if you put a rubber match between these two guys. So I guess there was really no time to do it. And plus, they were moving Shawn on to the world title, which, means there's really no reason to do that match. They already know what their plans are for Shawn. He's moving on. So I guess they didn't really need to do it, but it would have been cool if they did. Or it would have been a lot cooler if they did. Psycho Sid pouring it on. Shawn trying to regroup there. They're already trying to plant that seed, tell that story for the next night on Raw. And I don't know if you guys remember, if it was just me, but Sid, even when he came back a year later, like, he's always been jacked. Look at him. He's in ridiculous shape here. But for some reason, when he came back in 96, after his brief hiatus here, he's gone after this, and he's gone for Royal Rumble, he's gone for WrestleMania, and he doesn't resurface until the Ultimate Warrior starts no-show and shit next year. But he just comes back. He just looks even better. His hair's a little shorter. He looks even more jacked, and he looks more intense. Like, here, he doesn't seem himself. He just seems a lot different intensity-wise from what he would be a year later in 96. I mean, he really turned it up in 96. He was fun. I think Sid was one of my favorite wrestlers of 1996. He was just fun. His promos would crack my roommate up. He would just laugh his ass off at Sid's promos. My dad liked Sid. Sid had appeal to people who were casual fans or not fans at all. Because if you turn on wrestling and see his crazy ass cutting a promo and stumbling his words, you're going to laugh and think it's awesome. Double clothesline, Razor and Sid. Do you think Sid has half the brain Scott Hall has or Razor Ramon has? I think so. Look at this. Good camera shot there from way up above. I miss the good old days of just the red, white, and blue ropes. Simple, dark blue turnbuckles. That's what Sid's going up top. Jesus, Sid. I know it's a mullet party in here. You're right, Jay Lambo. Yeah, today is the anniversary. I knew that when I saw November 13th. I actually knew that when I was putting the date in here for this video. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's going to be the Eddie date. We are now 17 years since that day. I remember it well. I was already starting to slightly detach from wrestling. I was always going to be a fan. Did not plan on abandoning the product completely, but I was starting to more eyeball it than anything else. I didn't freak out if I missed a Monday Night Raw or even if I missed a pay-per-view here and there. And I remember that morning I just woke up and got on my computer and got onto onewrestling.com just to see if there was any wrestling news that day. And I saw right at the top of the page, Eddie Guerrero passes away. And I didn't even read the article. I just kind of shut it off. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. Ooh, super kick to Sid. And Sean doesn't even care. Whatever, super kick Sid. So yeah, that day kind of like annoyed me. I'm like, how many more deaths do we have to go through? And I don't know what Bulldog was doing there. He came in for a fly. I think he tried to make the save and he wasn't supposed to. Yeah, I think Razor was supposed to get the pin there and Bulldog didn't know that. Came in to make the save. That looked shitty. But Sid is gone. So yeah, on the day Eddie died, I was like almost a little bit just angry and annoyed that there's another one and now it's an active guy. And I watched the SmackDown and Raws and the tributes to him. I was very, emotional and oh no, and Sean's going to get a power bomb. But I kind of just like turned the product off for the rest of the year and came back around in 06 when we got closer to WrestleMania 2 or 22. And so Sid, after getting pinned, he comes in and power bombs Shawn Michaels, who already took a Razor's Edge earlier on in the show. He's just coming off that concussion. They're planting all these seeds for tomorrow, and now all it's going to take is that enziguri. Sean is out. Yes, I love the little old lady in the front row biting her nails during the near fall. And then when Sean kicked out, she goes, yes, she's the best. I don't know what her name is. It's probably Betty. But if anybody knows Betty, she's probably not with us anymore. But tell her family that Betty was awesome. I cannot believe this was 27 years ago. I cannot believe I graduated high school 27 fucking years ago. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people had a death that did that to them, Juliet, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of fans felt the way you did after the Benoit stuff. For me, it was Eddie because it felt like 1 week. Every week somebody was dying. And now it's another one that I really, really, really loved. The clubbing array of blows to Sean's head by Yoko there after these power bombs. Oh, now he's all inside out on the turnbuckles. Sean is out. Ahmed wants in there. Some 9 thugs. It was always the 9 thugs. It was never just 9 assholes or something. I mean, that was probably what happened to Sean. If I had to guess or take some wild guess, because we've heard all the different stories, it's probably just a collision of douche. Sean, who is known to be a cocky douche, probably went into a bar filled with cocky douches. And he tried to be a cocky douche to one of the other cocky douche's girlfriend, and a bunch of the cocky douches took him outside and beat the cocky douche to shit. I think that's kind of what happened. If Sean would have been in there with, less people or something, maybe he could have gotten away with doing what he was doing, but he walked into the wrong place. And if they were Marines or whatnot, doesn't surprise me. I don't know why I have these weird notifications. There's a sign in the crowd, I want the boy toy. I bet you do, Judy. Yoko taking down Shawn. I think Yoko and Shawn would have a match in 96. They ran that venue on Raw. It was the venue where, I guess it would have been the night after the Royal Rumble. It was the one where Vader attacked Gorilla Monsoon. And I remember I just liked the building. I don't think it was Lowell, Mass, but it kind of had that vibe to it. It looked like Lowell, Mass, but I don't think it was. It might have been. Or was the Royal Rumble that year? It was way out here. It was in San Jose, so it wouldn't have been Lowell. But whatever that building was probably in California, that night, I thought it was a cool-looking venue. He's got it. He's almost there. Finally, Shawn, the pain ends. Here comes Ahmed mowing down poor Owen. And he's taking it to Scott Hall, too. We wouldn't see Razor Ramon versus Ahmed very much. Oh, yeah, the Pearl River Plunge. Tiger Bomb. I don't like that move or the Batista Bomb very much. Oh, you might go to the 30th anniversary show. That's awesome. You should do it. That logo was something else. What were they thinking there? Go ahead and type Raw XXX into your Google bar and see what comes up. Ooh. He smacking his friend in the face. And Bulldog. Shawn's trying to stop him. Oh, poor Shawn. It was just all over. Oh, my God. Spilling out to the outside. Big spiny from Ahmed. Devastating maneuver. Excuse me. It wasn't a spine buster. It was a devastating maneuver. Why is he doing that? Oh, he's going to do that so Razor can Razor's edge him. Oh, and he folded him up good, too. Yeah, Ahmed's huge. That would have been hard for Razor to get him up naturally in that Razor's edge. I'm not sure if you could trust Ahmed to help you either on that situation. Would have just been hard. Bulldog tagged him somewhere. He's in there. Smart by Ahmed. If he knew what was going on, he was able to tag Bulldog. Oh, he's back. Sid's back with his little friend. His little itty-bitty friend. Yeah, Scott Hall's super strong. He could probably do it to Ahmed. It looks like it would be hard. Ahmed is just beefy, man. Some beef. Oh no. Power slam. Razor slapped 1-2-3 Kid off the apron, but he got caught in a Davey Boy power slam for the pin. Razor's eliminated. See you later, Chico. So is it Yoko by himself? Poor Yoko. I love all the camera shots where you can see the lighting setup, because that was WWE's old. They used to have those blue speakers, and then they upgraded their audio. Nice palm strike right to the face of Shawn. Yikes. Ouch. Oof. Big body slam. Wow. Like I said earlier with Mabel, it would just be hard for me as a professional wrestler to sit there and take that leg drop without flinching or moving, or probably making my situation worse. I mean, you have to really trust them not to put the meat or the bone of their hip onto your skull. Because that could be a lot worse than just a bad injury. Oh, no, he's going for the bonsai drop on poor Sean. Get out of the way, Sean. And he got out of the way. Phew. I talked about Yoko today in a YouTube short about Austin barely getting out of the way of him before being smushed. Oh, Jerry Rice in the house. Oh, yeah, I think he's on the crew, right? Or maybe he's just there because it's San Francisco. Live watch along for Raw XXX. Maybe we can do that, actually. Maybe we will. That might be fun. Why not? We can give it a shot. Oh, and there's the body slam. He did it again. The hip toss. And now Davey just came in and stopped the count on his own partner. And now Ahmed and Sean. Sean and Ahmed dispose of their own partner. Super kick to Yoko. And a big scream by Ahmed. I don't know what that was about. And a 3 count. And Ahmed's able to get the final pinfall. And then Davey Boy gets in the ring with him and celebrates like he won. I love that. So that was nearly a sweep. It was only Sid. Cornette wins in either way in this scenario. Ahmed Johnson. They gave him the final pin. That's good. Camp Cornette wins in the end. And here's the body slam. Kind of the same slam Yoko, or that Lex Luger did, although Yoko's a lot larger now. And pretty good. He tagged Yoko pretty good on that super kick. Yoko still could bump. I mean, he was getting overly big, but he could still... Big splash. Devastating splash. High impact power maneuvers. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Sonny. Oh my God, he's dumping popcorn on Sonny. He said he's kicking back, watching a perfect match. Oh my God. Did Jerry Lawler give you... I think Lawler wrote this segment. He wants Sonny to have a cabinet position, and he thinks that she should come over to the White House later to go over some of those positions. That's awesome.
I don't doubt for a second that this is going to be one of the hardest fought matches I've ever had. And, based on the last two, I mean, the first one was a knockdown drag out.
Dun, 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 dun. It is time. We're going to get the build now. The video package for Brett and Diesel. Crazy times. Is that what he said, Ray? I didn't catch that when Monica's not around. That's funny. But Brett's doing all this talk about technical wrestling and fast skilled and shit. It's like a no DQ. They put that stip in specifically so we could get a win. We get a winner. Yeah. Diesel's been walking around with my title, my championship belt. Yeah, the way his dirty, rotten brother Owen screwed him at Survivor Series the previous year. I had a year of hell as a wrestling fan. Finding out Brett lost at Survivor Series, being just dumbfounded by that. And then I had to go that whole year of Brett doing nonsense. Backlund at WrestleMania. Kiss my foot matches with Lawler. Matches with dentists. I'm like, what the fuck? Finally. Brett gets a title shot. And I remember I was on Raw one night. And Gorilla just said, Brett gets the winner of Diesel and Bulldog. Perfect's picking Brett. That old WWF logo on the monitors. Here we go. Brett's coming now. Holy shit. And I remember this too as a fan, how happy I was. Get down, Tito. I remember how happy I was to see Brett in all pink. Oh, I was like, oh my God, that looks so badass. I was feeling it. I knew he was going to win. I was like, it's been a year of Diesel. And off goes the fireworks. Brett got pretty simple pyro. He always just had the fireworks over the entranceway. And in the ring too. Like over the ring too. That red hair guy. I was so ready for it. I was just, as a Bret Hart fan, like just 95 was tough. As a fan, I was wondering what the fuck they were doing with him. But I was kind of, failing to recognize that they're getting their next champion over. So the reason Bret Hart is doing a bunch of other shit is because he's not going to be winning the title right now. They're going with Diesel. So they did the match at the Royal Rumble. They had the bullshit finish and figured they could revisit it later. And Diesel went on his run doing the Shawn Michaels stuff and all of that, while Brett kept busy, just like they keep Undertaker busy doing stuff. But as a fan, I remember thinking, I'm like, this makes no sense, like why he's not in the title picture. Got fucked out of the title at Survivor Series. He didn't have a winner declared with Diesel, so they're just not going to have a rematch. They're just going to let these guys go their separate ways. That's bullshit. So Brett had to work with the Pirate, Jean-Pierre Lafitte. He had to work with him. I'll check out her with a Diesel jacket. She seems really happy to see Diesel. Take a look at your wood. Yeah, I don't think he had it for quite a year, but damn close. Right up to the end, I think. I like Diesel's music. I hated his first theme where it was just the truck engine or the diesel engine the whole time. This was way better. Diesel and Brett. Third time's a charm. I remember being worried for Brett's reign when I love Diesel's pyro. So awesome. Lit up the whole arena. Yeah, this next night was an awesome night on Raw. Because Diesel decided to go back to old Diesel after losing the belt. He was Stone Cold before there was a Stone Cold. He purposely said, basically, he was going to be a tweener and going to only slap the hands with the ones that were wearing black gloves. Everybody else can fuck off. Brett's smiling. Brett's like, all right, this is awesome. I'm going to be champion again. This is great. I just gave away the ending with my facial expression. Thanks, Brett. We had no idea who was going to win here until you just gave it away. Oh, Diesel's pulling off the turnbuckle pad. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Brett's like, yeah, fuck it. I'll do it too. Watch. Brett's like, okay, I can do that. Of course he's going to struggle with it. Brett, this is really foolish. You have your back turned. Brett's like, I don't care that we took those off. No big deal. Whatever. Brett's thinking about it. Perfect just talked about himself a lot on commentary. I mean, I guess that's what heel commentators do. Listen to Owen at King of the Ring 96. It's hilarious. I was like, Bret Hart had your number, Mr. Perfect. So anything you can claim to be better at than Shawn, you can't claim that with Bret. Kevin had a great reaction to the pin later on because he seemed legit upset and pissed that he let that happen to himself. 16-13 now. Chargers over the Niners. Will Rally Sports. Hey, Greg, you not an NFL fan watching 49ers and you. Yeah, we're watching it right now. More of a Chargers fan. If I'm a fan of either team, it's going to be Chargers over them. Because I live in San Diego, and San Francisco is way far away. Diesel hurt me. That's right. Diesel kind of made his debut around the same time. Or made his debut when Shawn was feuding with Mr. Perfect. Diesel's going after him on the outside. I mean, I know this is a slower, more deliberate match, but they do just put a lot of punishment, or take a lot of punishment. Both of them do. Oof. Clotheslines Bret on the railing. This is the rubber match. We need one with Shawn and Razor too, Vince. You owe us that. Imagine how we were talking about, like in the Screwjob video and stuff, like if Shawn would have gone to WCW in '97 after the fight backstage with Bret. If he would have had a match with Scott Hall at some point in WCW. Probably would have. NWO would have had some dissension and all that shit. Shawn might have taken Kevin Nash's side in a situation, and that leads to a match. Can you imagine Shawn Michaels against Scott Hall on Nitro? Imagine what Shawn Michaels' theme music would be in WCW. My God. Be a knockoff of his Sexy Boy. Although Jimmy Hart, I think, might have wrote that. Choke. Boot on the throat of Bret. Yeah, well, Diesel's the bigger guy, too. He's a bigger and stronger guy. Plus, you can break rules, so he's going to have to, in a babyface match, if you got to have one guy going heel, Diesel is going to be the guy to wrestle heel. But I liked it, Royal Rumble, it was kind of like Brett doing that. He was bending the rules a lot, because that wasn't no DQ, but he was using a chair. He tied Diesel's legs up and shit, I think, at one point, or at least he does that here. But he was getting pretty vicious in their previous match, so he had it in him, too. But Diesel has the physical size and strength advantage, so it's going to be an uphill battle for Brett. Underdogs are generally baby faces. Oh, right into the steps. Get up, Brett. Oh, was there a cat behind me? Oh, Tito. Oh, yeah. You probably did see Tito. He jumped. He came up here, and then he bumped my microphone, and I pushed him down. Ooh, I want that chair, Survivor Series chair. At least it's got a cushion on it. Oh, at least I didn't even realize that was cushioned. I guess that's good. That's right. Vince remembers. Bret Hart used a chair on Diesel. Oh my God, the Christmas commercials everywhere. 2 months of that. Yeah, Jimmy Hart could have re-recorded Shawn Michaels' theme for WCW unless he signed all that shit away. But he might be able to make a knockoff of it. Something that's kind of similar if he wanted to. I think Shawn would have to be careful. But he'd have friends there, so he'd have protection. But that attitude of his, man. Fucking pull that shit on a Scott Norton. You might have some problems. Diesel's mocking Brett. Or taunting him, I should say. Come on, Brett. Brett is just already looks spent. Diesel's got him in jackknife. Brett's hanging onto the leg. Smart. Backdrop him over the top, Brett. Come on. Diesel's just going for the jackknife at this point. Nice, Brett with a nice back elbow. He's biting his arm. And he's biting his face now. Brett doing what he has to do. Title's on the line here. You can be vicious and wear pink. There's no rule against it. Yeah, I'm loving Brett. This is probably peak Bret Hart gear for me, is what he's wearing right here. He wore something like this when he beat Piper at WrestleMania 8, too. I like the all pink. I preferred the all pink over to all black. Because in 94, he was wearing like an all black singlet with some spots on it and shit. I like this way better. Yeah, he's got him down now. Taking it to the legs, to the knees. I mean, Diesel does have long as shit knees, or legs, too. Shawn Michaels and Hogan match in 98 would have been way more interesting than the one they did in 2005. Or probably slightly better in the ring. Maybe not, though. Oh, Brett was good at delivering that, too. That bottom rope springboard where he drive his ass into the leg. He always made that look really good. Nope. Figure four. I like it. Brett with his psych out. He's going to do more damage first with the figure four. Brett knows how to use that move. Diesel's legs are so big, Brett's got it like up high on his chest. Diesel's in tremendous pain. We can see that, Vince. You got it. Yeah, Shawn might oversell in 98, too, if they had a match together. That would have been pretty funny. All right, Brett now has got Diesel down. He put the figure four on him. He was really taking out both of his wheels, especially one of them. His left leg he's going to work on. The insertion. The what? The insertion from the calf to the thigh. Oh, yeah. Perfect is the best. It is kind of interesting how Perfect did come back right after Lex Luger bounced. After he left in the middle of their deal after WrestleMania that year. Here comes Sharpshooter. No, it is not. Ooh, Brett right in the back of the head. Bell rung. Jeez. Brett taking a pound. Oh, there you go, Brett. Smart. Now he's got Diesel. Oh, you're screwed now, son. Oh, no. He's already worked over the legs hard. Now he's got Diesel in the wars. This is where you don't want to be. And this is before Brett was doing the figure four on the ring post. He hadn't even broke that out yet. But you still did not want your legs anywhere near that ring post with Bret Hart around. And now Brett's got the electrical cord. Tying a fucking Boy Scout knot on the... He doesn't have enough slack to tie Diesel good, though. Or it's not tied on there well, I should say. Yeah, see, it's not very much slack. He does not have enough. Look, he's like, it's tight. He's trying to tie. Oh, so he's just trying to get one little loop on there to hold. Hopefully it holds. He's trying to get it around there a second time. He just can't. Oh, he might have it through. Did he thread it through twice? Oh, yes, he will. Brett did all that only to get smashed anyway. Now this is where Brett can do his worst here. Took him down. Nice. Yeah, especially if Diesel makes it to his feet and then he tries to walk away and then it wrenches his knee. Oh, yeah, Brett's got to be going to get a chair. He's like, I have a cushiony Survivor Series chair too. Oh, look out. Don't let Diesel grab it. Oh, no. Well, Diesel hit him with it, so now Diesel is tied up, and Brett's... Oh, he's trying to fight. I think Diesel tried to kick it, but he got caught on the cord. Come on, Brett. Oh, no, don't let Diesel get to the chair. Oh, stomped his hand. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. Diesel is just right there. Oh, and he didn't even hit him with the cushiony part. Oh, my God. That's horrible. Oh, now he's going right into the joint. Diesel selling it marvelously. That is just a very vicious Bret Hart. I don't know how you're going to stand up now, Diesel. Should have a broken kneecap. Somebody's going to be the champion after this. We know that, Vince. Oh, wow. Bret hit his patented backbreaker on Diesel with that shit tied all on his legs. That wasn't easy. Oh, now he's got the... Oh, my gosh. Going to the top. I love that chair. I want that chair. Let's see if that's on eBay. Oh, no, Bret. Oh, crouched himself. Lost the chair. Backfire. Diesel has got to get himself untied from that. Oh, no. Big top rope slam to Bret. Bret doesn't take many of these. Wow. Oh, ouch. Diesel, you finally got some time now. Get that thing off your foot. It's like, just give me a pair of scissors, but then you could probably shock yourself if that thing's live. Dude, get that off. There we go. Finally. Oh, he's wrapping it around Bret's neck. He does. Sidewalk slam maybe on his bad leg. Could be it. No way. No way. Yeah, it hasn't. Jim Ross is right. There hasn't been a lot of near falls. They haven't gone for many covers at all. Diesel's been tied up. The no protective pad, I forgot about that. Bret took his sternum shot with no turnbuckle on that top rope. November 25th, Rampage is going to air at 4 p.m. Eastern. Holy shit. That must be Thanksgiving weekend, right? That's okay. I actually think that's okay. There's so much going on. That's the Friday after Thanksgiving. Black Friday, first of all. People are doing shit. There's football on. People are on vacation. Most people are home from work. I don't think it's going to do a good number, but... Oof. For me, however, watching Rampage at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, not going to happen. Yeah, Bret has got the... he's got the Jimmy legs. Oh, snake eyes. Snake eyes on that bad turnbuckle pad? Or the exposed one? Nope. He should have gone... There's 2 exposed top turnbuckles. And he snake eyes him on the other one. That was very nice of Diesel. I'm pretty sure this is the first year that WWE, or since back in these days, held Survivor Series on Survivor Series weekend. Like early, it was Survivor Series night. Then after that, it was the night before Survivor Series. And then they moved it on to Sundays. And generally, those Sundays would not be Thanksgiving weekends. They usually did not run Survivor Series Thanksgiving weekend. I can't think of any time in the last 20 years where they have. So this is the first time they've done that in a while. I think they generally like to stay away from that weekend because they probably would do less pay-per-view buys because a lot of people are traveling or potentially wrapping up their Thanksgiving holiday. And I think that was primarily why they kept those shows away from there. Now Brett with his patented clothesline. Yeah, there's probably an NBA game. Yeah, exactly. Holiday stuff. Big bulldog from the second rope. Another near fall coming up. Diesel kicks out again. Damn you, Diesel. Vash Starwin, good to see you. Glad you're here. It's been a fun one. Survivor Series 95 is the best. Love this show. Brett rolls over into the cover. Nope. Oh, that'll prove that, Vince? Is that right? Oh, really? Oh, and he missed. How do I think Jim Ross would be calling this match today, Aaron? Probably pretty awfully. He'd be all over the place. No wonder. Who knows what he'd be talking about. I'm just glad that Jim Ross was not calling. Today's Jim Ross wasn't calling that women's match earlier on. The shit he would be saying. I think, is Brett on the outside? I think we might be coming up on the table spot here. Yeah, Brett's on the outside. So if he's going to start moseying, yeah, he's going to saunter over this way and get up on the apron, and he's about to eat shit right here. Oh, Lord. That blew my mind. That table spot blew my mind at the time. Seeing that in WWE was a huge deal. That was just incredible for me as a fan to see. Shawn and Diesel would do an even better one a few months later at Good Friends, Better Enemies when Shawn got power bombed through the table and the monitors just exploded up in the air. It was so great. But that was so good. Brett doing that through the table. Like, that's just not something you saw. I think Public Enemy was breaking some tables in ECW, but I know Terry Funk and Ric Flair did a table spot in 89 in WCW. Harley Race and Hogan did a table spot in 88 in WWE. But that I had not seen before this point. It was crazy. Big Daddy Cool, best not hesitate. Spaz Phoenix, what's going on, dude? We're right at the finish of the main event. I'll answer that in 1 second. Yeah, so they zoomed in on Diesel, who definitely seemed a little bit worried or concerned that he might have fucked Brett up really good. And now Diesel's got the match won. That's it. Down goes Hart. Yeah. Brett was so good at this. And Diesel should have just taken him out right there. Now Brett's up. You can see, I knew it too watching this. I'm like, he's going to fuck it. I'm like, yes. And he pinned him. I mean, that seemed like to be genuine shock and anger coming from Diesel. Like, motherfucker, I can't believe that happened. Look how pissed he is. Whoa, throws referee out of the way. And now he does it. Basically just saying, this is what I should have fucking done. Just picked him right up and powerbombed him. If I would have done that, I'd still be champion. And now he's beating up referees. Diesel in complete control, I guess, but he just lost the title. Ugh. The only thing that upset me about this show was that we didn't get a title celebration with Brett. Like, I didn't get to see him hit the ropes with the title. That upset me. And now he's got the title on him. But just me, I needed that visual of Brett with the championship again. I missed it. Nobody looked better with that winged eagle than Brett. And I was hoping at the end of this match I would at least get that from Brett. But and then right there, Diesel says to the camera, to the hard cam, he says, I'm back, I'm back. So he's already alluding to the promo he's going to cut the next night on Raw, where he talks about returning to the old Big Daddy Cool, the one who doesn't give a shit and who doesn't smile, God forbid. And Bret Hart is the new champion. Diesel's already going for those black gloved hands. And he's being booed by the crowd. Oh, we get the video. I love the video packages. Oh, it gives me a chance to hear the theme that I like again. I always thought WWE had great production to be able to put this together in the course of a show and give it to you right when the show ended. Gold, Dust, and Bam Bam. I forgot about that match. The recaps were good. I always liked the recaps when they did this. Had to be stress hell on earth for the fucking production team to be in that truck having to do this in time. There's Undertaker eliminating everybody. Mabel dancing. Shawn coming back. Powerbomb to Shawn. Sid, you asshole. Oh, and there's the... And there it is. And they just show the whole replay of the match. It's no music. Or replay of the finish. You're going to try to follow the Survivor Series 2001 on VHS? Good luck. Now we got to see Bret get powerbombed again. So that's 4 powerbombs I have to watch Bret Hart eat. I don't want to do that. Oh, he struck an official. He struck at a whole bunch of officials. Fucking struck Timmy White and Kyoto and Earl. And now a second powerbomb to Bret. Oh, it's painful to watch. Oh, wow, we're getting a little closeout recap here with the 3 of these guys. And there's Bret.
Brett still down in the ring, although he appears to be mobile to a certain extent. And you have a
Mobile.
smile on your face. Why?
He's laughing.
Everything you saw, he's got a smile on my face. I like what I saw. Hey, Bret Hart won the title, but will he be able to defend it? He's on it.
Briscoe's over there helping out Brett too.
I don't know. Earlier, Bret was
Mr. Perfect seems to be happy about what happened to Brett.
cameras. I think everyone just being concerned
What an asshole.
with the condition of Bret Hart. Diesel had the match won, it appeared, and then from there,
Good night, Yachiro. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Have a good one. We're signing off here in a second too.
perfect day for Bret Hart. Or Diesel. It was a perfect Survivor Series in terms of action, though. Ladies and gentlemen, so long.
And there's Diesel dropping the belt on Brett, and that is the end of Survivor Series 95. I am glad we finally watched that one. Before everybody gets out of here, let me read this super chat from Spaz Phoenix. Thanks, dude. Hey, Greg, Cat, and Chat. WWE Last Week goes live on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and iTunes 10 a.m. tomorrow. We touch on a few wrestling sore spots, and I'm sure some people think I'm an asshole, but oh well, who cares, right? That's what I say. So yeah, go show Spaz some love. Appreciate you chiming in at the end of the stream tonight, Spaz, with that very nice super chat. Tonight was a really fun watch along. Loved this Survivor Series. Luckily, I don't have to rack my brain too hard about what to do next week because we already know we're going to watch Survivor Series 2001 1 week from tonight, and I'm on that show on the hard cam throughout most of it, so you'll get to watch me watch myself on pay-per-view. We might cross over into another dimension, so that should be fun. So you guys stay tuned for that next week. I will be up here a couple times this week. I'm not sure with what. No Raw review scheduled for tomorrow because I don't think anything really too crazy is going to happen, but you'll probably hear from me if anything crazy does happen. Might be up here with a news video as well. And if you guys want to hang tight, I do not know what's going on with me next week. Let me just peek at a schedule so I can see what the heck's going on, what I've got planned. Yeah, because of shit going on with Full Gear. So yeah, there's going to be no live reaction on Wednesday for Dynamite, unfortunately. So I don't have any videos scheduled until Full Gear on Saturdays. So what we're going to do is, looking at the schedule here, let's do Thursday predictions. Let's wait until after Dynamite airs so we can see what they do on the go home. This coming Thursday, I will be up here with Full Gear predictions. I will post a link very soon for that. Then on Saturday, we will be up here for a Full Gear review. And then, of course, 1 week from tonight, Sunday, Survivor Series 2001. So that is what you have planned for the channel this week. Good night, everyone. Enjoy what's left of your Sunday night and weekend. Enjoy the rest of this game. And I will catch you guys real soon. Talk to you soon. Peace.